The Price Podcast.
Buckle up.
It's chaos this week.
What is going on, everybody? It's Jonathan Price here, coming at you live with chaos this week. I've been testing this thing out, and I think I'm just keep it on Fridays, 8 p.m. I think that'd be a good time for everybody. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But here we are with chaos this week. We have some, I'll call it big, but up to you. How you guys want to see it? But obviously, the Iran war, 100%. People are still talking about it. We're still feeling that at the gas pump. When was it? I think it was Wednesday. Right? No. Yes, Wednesday. It spiked. And I mean spiked. Gas went up in where I am, rural area, over $4, which never really happens. And the highest I saw was $4.25. Now, it is decreasing. It has gone down. It spiked, but then now it's coming back down. So hopefully by the weekend, we'll see something. Or by next week, really, we'll see how it goes. But obviously, I'm just going to briefly mention it, mostly because it's a war. And honestly, I'm really just tired about hearing all of it, but we still got to talk about it. So it's going to be very brief. So the U.S.-Iran conflict, fragile. Ceasefire tested in the Strait of Hormuz, very fragile. Any type of ceasefire is just fragile, especially with Iran. It's just basically done. We're cooked at this point. But anywho, recent U.S.-Iran exchanges of fire after Iranian attacks on U.S. Navy destroyers. The U.S. responded with strikes described as, by President Trump standards, love taps. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Trump's name calling is just 100% hilarious. And if anybody actually takes it really seriously, y'all are crazy. 100% crazy. But, hey, to each its own, right? Anywho, the U.S. disabled 2 Iranian-flagged tankers attempting to breach the blockade. Ceasefire brokered in April 2026. Officially holds, per U.S. officials. We all know it doesn't. But new incidents raised doubts. Yeah, 100%. I don't think Iran thinks they're on a ceasefire. I think they're just like, we will fight until we need to. We will continue to fight, no matter what. Ceasefire. What is ceasefire? Islamics. They're crazy people. Very crazy. Also, there are a bunch of the Quran is a book of lies. I'll say that much. We could, you know what? What was I gonna do for next week's culture war? Oh, what was next week's culture war? Hold up. I think we might change it. So next week's culture war, DEI and corporate wokeness. That's going to change. Next week, we are talking about Islam. We are talking about Islam. So, next week, we're definitely going to go through Islam, go through the history. We'll also compare it with the Christian history and why the Crusades was really a retaliation against Islam. You can fight me however you want. History doesn't lie. So we'll definitely talk about that, and we'll just go on with that. But with all that said, back up to the news. Ongoing naval blockade and Project Freedom paused for diplomacy. Oil prices elevated, which, yeah, I saw Wednesday definitely got bad. But like I said, it has come down. It is coming down. Literally by like 10 cents a day. It's gone down 10 cents a day. Wednesday, 425 was the highest. Yesterday, 415. Today, 405, 410. It's coming down. Gas is coming down, which is great. But the U.S., hold on, let me put it like this. Oh, much better. The U.S.-Iran war, which began in late February with strikes on Iranian facilities, remains in a precarious state despite an April ceasefire mandated by Pakistan. Obviously, Iran didn't care, and they kept on blowing us up or trying to attack us. I'm not going to say they blew us up because they really have. That is crazy. Are we back? I think we're back. Wi-Fi just went, well, not Wi-Fi, but Ethernet cable. This is crazy. This is the second time that's happened. It says that we're streaming. Yep, we are back. 100%. We are back, baby. But anywho, which is crazy. That is wild. Which is why I kind of changed to Ethernet cable. Because doing this over Wi-Fi is something else. Yeah. Anywho, if you guys are looking to start live streaming, okay, if you have the Wi-Fi router in your room or figure something out, you get some great cables, Ethernet cables, at Walmart. Surprisingly, Walmart, one of their store brand ones. That's what I got. Working fine. Well, should I say working fine? Well, yes. It is working fine. This is like the second time out of a month and a half that happened. So yes, I do believe it, gives some good cables. Walmart has some good ones. I'm not going to lie. I got two of them. One for my PS5 and one for this desktop. But anyway, back to what we're going for. As Iranian forces targeted U.S. vessels, prompting retaliatory U.S. actions, including disabling tankers and strikes on military sites, President Trump has downid? How do you pronounce this word? Oh my gosh. English. Come up with some better words. I'll say that much. Or easier to pronounce. Anywho, downed the incidents, insisting the ceasefire endures and awaiting Iran's response to peace proposals involving nuclear dismantlement. Oh, this is hard to read, but oh well, y'all get the gist of it. You know, we say, hey, no nukes, stop enriching. What is it? Stop enriching nuclear and just, you can create energy, but only to the point where you're not building a nuke. Okay? And Iran says they won't. Yeah. Y'all ain't giving us nothing to trust that you guys won't. Okay? And I'm just going to say this. For everybody there, I don't believe y'all. Y'all believe a book full of lies. Why, Yeah. Anywho. Over 20,000 seafarers from global remain stranded due to disruptions with significant economic ripple effects, including higher global energy costs. Diplomatic efforts continue through Secretary of State Marco Rubio, though both sides accuse the other of violations. We do have a potential for escalation, global energy security, and regional stability. So we will see how it goes. I say within. I don't think this lasts for no more than 2 months. Don't take my word on it, but I just think it won't last for no more than 2 months. Why? Just based off of Trump before, when he works out deals, he normally gets them no matter what. But yeah, if it lasts any more than 2 more months, so we're in May right now. If it goes past July, actually no, if it goes past June, it's over. Just say that right now. It's just over. 100%. But the Supreme Court ruling 6-3 that happened this week with redistricting, Republicans will still win. Well, they have a chance to win in the midterms, which is unprecedented, especially since Trump is, Republican. Normally, the party takes over the Congress and House, but with how things are going, we'll get into that later. So stay tuned. Anywho, on to the next one. The deadly Hantavirus outbreak on the MV Hondius cruise ship. Now, this is something I'm still learning more about. I think it happened sometime yesterday. Right now, they have at least 3 people died from the hantavirus, including Dutch couple and a German man. But there are also multiple suspected cases, I believe. Now, don't quote me on this one. I'm still trying to get everything together. But I think there's 3 to 12 cases? So I think at most 12 cases, maybe more. I will need to look some more into it. But people are trying to say, hey, COVID's back with this virus. Although technically this virus is not really new. There have been previous cases about it beforehand, people who have survived from it. So to say that this is a brand new virus going out, that's bullshit. Bull. Complete bull. But yeah, I don't think it's going to go any farther than this. We'll see what happens. But there have been at least 3 people dead, unfortunately. The ship was carrying over 147 passengers, including the crew, from 23 different countries, now ravine to Canary Islands. They're trying to quarantine people with all this. They're trying to make it back to like it was COVID, yada, 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 yada. Look, we all fell for it last time. What makes you think for that stupid? Now, I will say there will be people who fall for it again. But not as many people will fall for it. And try to do it a 3rd time. Not going to happen. Just saying. Okay? Just saying. Now, there had been international contact. Forcibly, the tracing underway for this month. December? Something. But yeah, Hantavirus. Look, it's not new. I think it was. I remember I heard about this yesterday about, it's not a new thing, but it's something that has happened before. We'll look at it real quick. Hantavirus Outbreak reported on MV cruise ship. You know what? I don't want to go through all that. I'm going to ask AI to give me an infograph or a more completed one, I will say. I definitely need a desk mount for this mic. We're going to do some changes and stuff around 100%. Should have said Hantavirus Outbreak. Anywho, well, that's doing that. Oh, here it is. So, let me download that. Go here. Let me bring it up for you guys. Let's see. Bam. So, current situation. 3 confirmed deaths, including a Dutch couple and German passenger. 8 total cases, 5 confirmed or with 5 confirmed and suspected. Ship crew carried 147 passengers and crew from 23 plus countries. Vessel now en route to the Canary Islands under quarantine. International contact tracing underway, including U.S. passengers. So yeah, a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening. The ship cluster aboard Culinary Board Integral International. Dang. Yeah, what's she doing? Anyway, what is the hantavirus? It's a rare strain capable of limited human-to-human transmission, primarily rodent-borne, long-tailed pygmy rice rats in South America. Causes hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, severe lung fluid buildup. Incubation is about 1 to 6 weeks. Fertility rate up to 40 to 50% in severe cases. Now, one thing I heard is that kind of takes about 8 weeks. Well, I heard 8 weeks. It says 1 to 6 weeks, but it's not transferable until it is out of incubation. You start getting the symptoms. So yeah, the transmission, main routes inhaled. If you inhaled rodents' urine, dropping saliva, it's a rare person to person via close combat, very rare, and it's not airborne like the COVID-19. So, unless you're going out sniffing rat crap, you're fine, really. It's very rare for it to be passed on person to person. And like I said, it's not really transmutable until after the incubation process is over. Now look, the WHO, CDC, Africa, CDC, and national authorities are coordinating medical evacuations, completed quarantines have been set up, no evidence of sustained community spread. So I think they're trying to make it sound like it's the COVID virus, but it's not. Who knows? I heard WHO is just trying to get people. What is it called? Scared. I will say, 100%. I think they are trying to get them scared, but good luck. I will say, very good luck. Anywho, that is that. So yeah. We'll continue to see how that goes, but other than that, I don't really think it's going to really go that far. I don't think it's going to go that far, honestly. But on to the next news. The Supreme Court ruling about redistricting. Obviously, last week, the Supreme Court ruled 6-9 to Louisiana v. Caleres and Voting Rights Act implications. Now here's some background for it. Like I said before, it's a 6-3 ruling, conservative majority, that happened on April 29, 2026 in Louisiana v. Caleres. Struck down Louisiana map, creating a second majority black district. Rules as unconstitutional racial gerrymandering under the Equal Protection Clause. Hey, it's in the federal court now, so now the entire nation needs to follow it. So if there's any racial gerrymandering about the current districts, got to be redrawn. Now, there are some states here in the South that have already doing it. One of them, Louisiana, definitely has to do it since this was their case. Brian Kemp has said down here in Georgia he's not going to redistrict. Mostly because at that point there's already been like a lot of mail-in ballot or mail-in votes have already come in, so you have to literally don't count those whatsoever, and then redo the whole primary. Which yesterday I went to go vote. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for yet. Well, yeah, sure, why not? I voted for Clark Dean for governor and David Clark for lieutenant governor. One thing I really did pay attention to was the state superintendent. Because if you really want to make sure woke is dead, we got to go into the schools and end indoctrination and all that stuff. And I believe, I forget this man's name. What is his name? Randall Tramwell. I believe he could do the job. So, yeah, I voted for him too. Next, I did say that I would vote for, or my vote was leaning towards Bet Jones or Baked Hillary, but not anymore. Anywho, it's politics. It is what it is. Authored by Justice Alito. Dissident by Justice Kagan. Warning, Section 2 of the VRA now all but a dead letter. I mean, yeah, basically. Now, the broader impacts and the reactions weakens key enforcement tool of Voting Rights Act for creating major minority districts. Potential net gain for Republicans in the House, which we could be seeing they gain, I think, for what I've hearing, what I've seen, what I've kind of looked into, nationwide Republicans could earn about 40 seats. Imagine that. Louisiana, I think they tried to gain 2 more, then they lost. But if all the Southeast countries are, sorry, not countries, oh my gosh, states, Southeast states, yikes, change their vote or redistrict, Republicans could win 12 seats. Major win. I say that. Major win. That's just in the Southeast. But nationwide, I believe it's about 40 or 50. Sparks gerrymandering, arms race, and legal challenges. Renewed push for state-level voting rights protection. Critics call it a devastating blow to civil rights. Supporters view it as this restoring color-blind districting. And I support 100%. 100%. I don't even know why we have black majority districts, bro. Just make it based off the population. And I'm sorry, but black people are only 13% of the population. And honestly, I'm not sorry. 13% of the population. 13. Why do we have so many majority black districts? And then we can't forget about all the illegal immigrants. Democrats are going to have them vote like crazy. 100%. Man. They going to try to keep their seats, but I'm sorry about it. It ain't going to happen. I'll tell you that much. I don't care what I got to do. America is going back to being America. Done. Easy. Just like that. America stays America. And if you have a problem with it, oh well. Sit down. Because you're not stopping it. That's why I voted for Trump. That's why I will never, ever go back to being a Democrat. Well, was I even one to begin with? Not really. During the Biden administration, or the presidential debate or campaign with Trump and Biden, I voted Biden mostly because I didn't know anything. I just trust my parents and just did who they voted for. Did I regret it? I try not to live my life with regrets, but I'm just like, wow, not a good choice. That's why I corrected it. Voted for Trump, 2024. And I'm happy for the vote I had. Fight me if you want to. Anywho, this week's updates. May 4th, the court expedites the ruling to take immediate effect. That means they surpassed the standard 32-day stay. And they said, no. You're redrawing all your districts today. That means all states across the U.S. now had to redraw their districts. So, yeah, they basically just said, oh yeah, mail-in votes? Yeah, no, that's happening. Which I think that's what the Democrats used to get Biden in office. 80 million votes. Yeah, right. BS. Anyway, that's what, Biden tried to do Biden did to get elected. And I think they're going to try to do this with either Gavin Newsom. Well, actually, I don't know if Gavin Newsom was actually going to try to go for president. He might. But if he does, he's losing to J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio. But I think it'll be Vance or Rubio. Vance, president. Rubio, vice president. We'll see what happens. Don't take my word on it. Don't. I'm not a big political analytics. Analysis. Oh my gosh. Anywho, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. I believe Vance will be the next president. Marco Rubio will be a good vice president. Or he stays in his role. Who knows? We will see. So Louisiana has suspended congressional primaries originating from May 16th and moves to redraw their maps. Sharp exchanges between Justice Alito and Jackson in procedural order. Jackson, DEI hire, really? Like, oh man, they need to replace her badly. Now, multiple southern states, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, are initiating or accelerating the redistricting process. Trying to get this done fast. Still trying to have the primaries. Georgia is not one of those states, although they will have to be soon. I think they'll do it after the primaries. But we'll see what happens. The state response is rapid. Statewide application of voting rights, congressionals to the hand, yada. Anyway, we know what happens. Why this matters: partisan and legal. Yo, AI, what did you do? I gotta edit this. Anywho, we all know why it matters. This is honestly a huge win for Republicans. I'm not gonna lie. Very, 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 very huge wins for Republicans. And I like it. We'll see what happens. And we'll definitely go through it. But just saying, I think the Republicans gonna win the midterms. Might be first time in history. We will see what happens. But that has been the Price Podcast. Chaos this week. Change some things up. We'll definitely see. Go to Price Shorts. Price Shorts on YouTube and Rumble. You get all the clips for everything that is under the Price Media Group. That includes the Price Podcast, the podcast channel, where you get the Culture War and the Chaos this week, and also the Boy Basic Gaming channel. You guys will definitely see about a lot about that. Videos will be going up, but yeah, man, look, it's gonna be great. We're gonna like it, and yeah, let me show you guys kind of what it looks like. If I can find it. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. Where is it? Right there. Okay. So, this is what it looks like. You guys, go out there, give it some love, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Introducing Price Shorts, the sharpest insights and most engaging moments from the Price Podcast, and now in the palm of your hand. Thought-provoking commentary. Even in a fatherless era, faithful fatherhood conforms us to Jesus and builds his kingdom across generations. Practical advice for the individual man. Embrace Colossians 3:23 and Ephesians 5 headship. Entertaining highlights. All in seconds. Price Shorts, your daily dose of premium content from Price Media Group, LLC. Subscribe now and never miss the best bites. Peace.
Chaos this week.